You're introducing a private member's bill on nuclear today to lift the moratorium. Why now?
Well, I think that why now? We should have done this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if we're serious about a low emissions future, lifting the moratorium on clean nuclear energy is the first step in that process. It's a very simple bill. All it does is lift the moratorium and also allow for organisations like the Clean Energy Finance Corporation and ARENA to consider clean energy nuclear technologies in its mix for either investment or research and support.
So is that
it's
where
a very
the
simple
extent
bill?
of
I think it's going to have a significant report.
Jane, sorry to interrupt you. Is this where
that's all right. What did you say?
think, is this, 2.0 nuclear policy, that you lift the moratorium and you let the market decide?
Well, let's be honest, there are 31 countries around the world that have already signed up at COP 28 and 29 to triple the amount of nuclear energy that they are using, that they are going to take on board and develop to create a low emissions future. It's just madness that Australia has decided to shun this technology when we have 30% of the world's uranium sitting on our own shores. We're happy to dig it up and ship it off for other countries to use so that they can lower their emissions, but we won't do it for our country, for our economy. That's just ideological sabotage and something that we should be able to move past now. This is the first step in that process. Just lift the moratorium, let the market decide.
But it's a private member's bill. This is not something that is driven by the leadership. Is that correct?
It is a private senator's bill. It's something I feel particularly passionate about, and I'm hoping that this is the direction that the coalition will move in. Obviously, we're reviewing our policies right now, including our energy policy, but I think this is probably my big stake in the ground.
Okay.
I think that the only way that we're going to get to a low emissions future is if we include nuclear technology in the mix.
Okay, there's a lot of policy shepherding going on within the coalition at the moment, but I want to just finally move to this Joy Division issue. Do you have an issue with the Prime Minister's T-shirt, Jane?
Well, look, I don't like Joy Division in the first place, but I actually had no idea that that there was a sort of a sub-meaning to the name of the band. Look, if the Prime Minister knew about that, that's his business and his decision. I think wearing a T-shirt with a band name on it is a bit naff anyway, but I don't like to tell people what it is that they should and shouldn't wear. Maybe I should rethink my Partridge Family T-shirt.
Oh, Partridge Family. What's with that? That's more controversial than Joy Division.
No, it's just daggy.
Yeah. I hope you just sleep in that, Jane, but we'll leave it there. Okay, so should he apologise? There's obviously Nazi undertones here. Look, I think Susan Lee's perhaps making a big leap, assuming that Joy Division, in calling their the band Just That, which is a band from the 80s, 90s, I might add, that was some kind of anti-Semitic or an endorsement of the actions of the Holocaust. There's a lot of assumptions going on here.
Look, this was news to me, but to be honest, if the Prime Minister wore this knowing that it is kind of bad taste, particularly at a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise in Australia and right around the world. If people are offended, well then perhaps it is appropriate that the Prime Minister makes overtures in that direction.
Though?
But it's entirely...
Hang on, hasn't there been this manufactured... No one was offended until it was raised.
I didn't, as I said, I didn't even know myself, and nobody has raised it with me. But if there are people who are offended, if it is in bad taste, and the Prime Minister can reflect on that, but I don't know for what to wear.
Hang on, isn't that just the snowflake culture that your party should normally be railing against?
As I said, I don't tell people what to wear. They can wear whatever it is that they want. Goodness me, there's some pretty offensive things that people wear in Parliament, let alone around the streets. But this is up to the Prime Minister to make the call. I wouldn't wear it, but then I don't like Joy Division.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, you can enjoy your Partridge Family T-shirt, is it?
Yeah, I'm not going to wear a Partridge Family
You're a brave
T-shirt
woman
either.
to admit that here on AIM Agenda, but we appreciate it. I'm sure we can find a support group for you somewhere, Jane. Thank you. I appreciate your time this morning. We'll see you soon. There you go.